Okay, hello, welcome to the weather update. It's about 7:30, May 23rd, and boy, another brutal day out there. Still in the mid 80s. Even though it may have been actually not, it wasn't in the night. It just felt I couldn't even walk out there. It's horrible. So we're dropping a little bit. You'll see we still have this pretty strong northwesterly flow, so no sea breeze. We'll throw the dew points in here. Still on the humid side, dew point 65 in Carl Place, so still dealing with this humidity as well. So let's go take a look at what the high temperatures were today across the area. And you'll see 89 in Carl Place. Farmingdale got to 90, 91. Even at the beach, 91. 89 in Long Beach, 91 at Toe Bay. So no relief anywhere. Highs in the upper 80s to around 90. I believe this is my friend's weather station here. I don't know if that's his weather station showing up here, 89. But 89. I mean, no relief anywhere. We go to West Hampton, 90 at Brookhaven, 90 at West Hampton. So no relief, no sea breeze, very strong northwest flow. You would have to go out to the North Fork where for some reason they got like a little bit of a Long Island Sound breeze where we're in the upper 70s. I see some highs there, but even Montauk got to 82, 86 in East Hampton. Pretty brutal day all around. Let's look at what the city did. 88 at LaGuardia, 91 at JFK, 87 at Central Park. It looks like 91 at Newark. Let's see how it did in Toms River, where it's probably even hotter. Oh, here, 91. I'm surprised it wasn't hotter than that there. But I'm surprised today wasn't worse, to be honest with you, but it felt pretty bad nonetheless. We had the sun out, and it was pretty damn brutal out there, and it still is very brutal out there. We can also look at the underground readings, and you can see, I mean, there's no sense really showing you all the different stations because everybody pretty much had the same weather with this no sea breeze. No sea breeze at all. We'll look at Carl Place, for instance, and you can see without a sea breeze, just hovering in the upper 80s all day long, and we're only starting to drop now. Dew point is still high, though, so no drop in the humidity yet. We're awaiting this cold front to come on through, and we're going to look at the radar next. And you'll see not a whole lot going on here with this front. Again, barely anything. This is incredible. Nothing. You'd think that with the front would generate something, but apparently not. Looking at the satellite, here's the front. You can see it slowly sinking down. I don't know if there were any records broken today. Let's see. Here were today's highs, according to the Weather Service. JFK broke their record of 89. So JFK and Bridgeport broke the record of 89. Central Park got up to 88. JFK 92. That's the new record. LaGuardia 88. Newark 94. Islip 89. And Bridgeport 90. So again, Newark the hot spot because it is, of course, in New Jersey. So it's always a little hotter there, even when we have the northwest winds. So no real. I'm going to click this for a minute. We're going to look at the sounding. You'll see why I think we don't really have that steep temperature drop off. So we just don't have the instability in the air, and there's dry air at this level over here at 500 MB. So whatever the reason is, we just couldn't generate the rain, which is a problem because things have been very dry lately. So moving this along here, we look at our weather map. You'll see this high builds down, brings us some cool, dry weather tomorrow, and then we start getting that return flow on Tuesday a little bit, and then we start seeing that southwesterly flow. However, it'll be a southwesterly flow, so that means that it won't be as hot as it was the last time. Hopefully, there'll be more of a sea breeze, at least for us. Chance of rain with the cold front Wednesday night. Front looks like the front tries to make it through, but then stalls to the south. We have a wave of low pressure that's now moving south. And this is another issue here we have. This was an opportunity for rain for Friday. Now it looks like it's being pushed to the south. And then the next chance of rain after that, really just not a whole lot of big rain chances here. It just stays fairly dry because we're in this ridge pattern. And we'd have to go all the way to June to maybe see some more substantial rain. But we know what happens. We know what happens each and every time. Whenever there's a chance of rain, it seems like it's always diminished. And I mean, if we go right up to Friday morning, if we look at the amount of precipitation that falls, total accumulated precip, look at this, barely anything. So We can move this along even further. This is the 18Z run. For some reason, it's a little delayed. But you can see, look at this. So I have to go all the way. Now we're at Saturday. Now we're at Sunday. All right, maybe parts of New Jersey get rain, but Long Island, barely anything. So things are really, really dry for us. Extremely dry. This is the driest, one of the driest Mains I could ever remember. So I'm going to move this over to the HRRR. We'll look at the 18Z HRRR run, and we'll go ahead and look at our precipitation chances, although there's nothing really going to show up here. Here comes the high building down. Like I said, scattered, probably not... Most everybody's probably not going to see much rain tonight, and just maybe a couple of showers, maybe Tuesday morning over the extreme south part of New Jersey. This is it. We stay dry. 18Z. Here we are at 18Z Tuesday. Still no rain at all. The good news is we will get relief from these really oppressive temperatures for May. I mean, this would be above normal even in the middle of the summertime. So you'll watch the heat go away here when we look at this HRRR run. Here comes that backdoor cold front. Temperatures drop later on tonight, 60s and maybe 50s by morning tomorrow. We get up only into the upper 60s. That's it. May not even hit 70, which is quite a change from today. And then we move this along. Here's Tuesday morning, dropping into the 50s. Then for Tuesday, it will be cool again. And the good news also is the humidity will also be lower. So if we look at the dew points, you'll see this drop-off in the dew points. Here comes the drop-off, and you can see that wind from the east. That's a very cool direction for us in May, and so it'll be nice and cool. And those dew points stay low. I believe they stay low into Tuesday. So you'll see that the wind starts shifting to the south once we move it along toward Tuesday. And if we go and we move this to the GFS now, to go a little further along with the dew points, you'll see the return of southwesterly winds and some humid air into the area. But you'll notice the southerly component with the wind, which means a sea breeze. Front comes through Thursday morning and then kind of gets hung up to the south a little bit. And then we have another like easterly flow for Friday, bringing us more cool weather. You can see that dry air. I'll put this back to the temperatures. So you'll see. Still staying cool. So back this up looking at Thursday, you'll see 70s. The only really hot day would be Wednesday, and that's just for New Jersey. So they may be dealing with 90s, but we may be dealing with 70s. So Jersey will finally keep its heat to itself, and that is a great thing. What we won't really be seeing is any really clear skies. Let me go and look at the NAM cloud outlook. So you'll see plenty of cirrus around tomorrow. Probably won't be a clear day. Probably a decent amount of clouds around. And then the same for Tuesday, probably. Lots of clouds. I think these probably are mostly high clouds, but they might be a mix in here. Let's see. Some high. Yeah, some high. There's a mix. For Monday, it's mostly high clouds. But there may be less high clouds later on in the day. But it is mostly of the high cloud variety. Probably some, mixed layers or whatever. Can't really complain too much. It's going to be a lot cooler and a lot more comfortable. So that's the time to get out and take that walk. Here is the RGEM, and you can see maybe we break out into some clear skies late in the afternoon, maybe, if that cirrus gets pushed far enough to the west. See, it's a little less in the way of clouds on Tuesday, maybe for us. But I still don't see any clear days here in this pattern where we're in. And then if we move this along back to the GFS, you'll see here that we pushed that front offshore for Thursday. Maybe Thursday we could have a clear day. Maybe more clouds for Friday. Plenty of clouds for Saturday. And like I said, a little unsettled for the Memorial Day weekend, but like I said, I don't think it's going to really wind up being that much rain. Just clouds and maybe the slight chance of a shower, as long as this dry pattern just continues here for us. Let's take it a little more out into the longer range now. And I'm actually going to show you this view, which is a view I haven't shown in a while. And we'll go and look at the upper air on the GFS, and you'll see what the deal is. So you can see there's that ridge in the east. So we get this little trough that comes through that brings that backdoor cold front through, but the ridge is still generally in place, which keeps the storms and the major cold fronts away. But at least we do get some breaks in the heat, at least. And then as we go into June, it looks like there might be, this is why I want to show you this, because there might be a change in the pattern, and we might get a trough back in the east, which may bring some more rain chances, as well as cooler weather. That is what the GFS has. I'm going to look at what the Euro has as well. on this, and it probably is a similar deal. It's a little stronger with that front, the euro. I know is for Friday, for that cool down on Friday. Um, Euro doesn't really. It doesn't go as far, but you see, it's trying to be. We got to build a ridge in the west so we can get a trough in the east, basically. The problem right now, if I go back to the GFS, if we look at the jet stream here, let's go and look at this because this jet stream is a mess right now. The problem that we're dealing with right now is just a very almost very weak jet stream, almost disjointed. You can almost barely see a jet stream here at all whatsoever. And that's, of course, not a good sign. And that's the issue that we're going to have as we go into next week, into this week as well. But you'll see the jet stream trying to make a comeback here and maybe bring us some cooler air as well as some storminess and some chances for precipitation. Because it's been very, very dry, and this is a very concern. It's a miracle we haven't had any major fires, but our luck is going to run out. And I think this may be the year we could see a repeat of something like the Sunrise wildfire or something like that, something on the scale of that, because it's just been so dry out there. We may have to have, they may start having water restrictions too if things keep up. Because if we go to the CONUS view here, and let me go to the precipitation, total accumulated this is right through the end of the period. And you'll look, I'm all the way up to June 1, and look, we're still got a dry patch over Long Island and the Northeast. You have to go further south. So this is a problem. We're staying dry. And look at how dry it is out west. And I mean, Flagstaff, they get a lot of sunny days, but it is a very, very dry place. You know, it sounds nice, but it is so dry there. It is so arid. It's a true desert. It's a real arid place, and although it's not that hot, the sun is very strong, so you could still be hot during the day, even if the actual air temperature might be cooled. You could probably still feel pretty hot with that really dry ground, but we're heading in that direction too. Very dry and really no end in sight to getting some rain over here. It's just it remains very dry. We'll have to see. Hopefully, as we get into June, we can get some rain and some because right now it's really been dry, and of course that means the pollen is terrible as well. And very high pollen levels as well. And you can see radar bone dry, so barely anything out here. So you might see some puffy clouds. You might get a couple of drops if you're lucky. But that's it. This front is coming through dry, but at least it's coming through. And by tomorrow morning, it's going to feel a lot better outside, a lot more like it should, in my opinion. It's too hot for May, way too hot. Normal high is supposed to be around only in the low 70s now, so we're 15 degrees above normal today. That's way above what we are supposed to be. I do want to look at earthnullschool.net, and we're going to just go over a couple of other things while I'm here. Let's go look at the ocean and the sea surface temperature anomalies, because we have some really high anomalies that we have to talk about. With all this warm weather now, the sea surface temperatures are way above normal off the East Coast, which is not good, obviously, as we head into tropical season. Look at the lakes. They're also above normal. So if we go and we look at this, you'll see here, this is annoying why it puts this over here, 6.5 degrees. You see that 6.5 degrees above normal. The water is south of Long Island is 6.5 degrees above what it's supposed to be, which is insane. Which is absolutely insane. So 6.5 degrees above normal, and that's the anomaly. All right, so that's how much warmer it is than it's supposed to be. If we look at the actual sea surface temperature, it's saying it's 58.9. So normal water temperature is supposed to be around 54 for this time of May. We're already approaching 60 degrees, which is above normal, and that's not good again as we head into the hurricane season. But all this warmth in the atmosphere, of course, gets picked up by the oceans. That's not a surprise at all. We can also look at the air quality as well, which, as you know, is actually is getting better with this cooler air moving in. I think we'll have better air tomorrow, and we'll sweep a lot of this crap away, hopefully. But it's been awful. The other thing that I want to just check out. Let's go to the state of the ice. Up north, and we'll check on that too as well. because, as you know, with Arctic amplification and a warmer Arctic, that means less of a difference between the Arctic and the poles, which means that the jet stream continues to get weaker. So the spring decline in the Arctic sea ice continued. So above average air temperatures and low sea level pressure dominated on the Atlantic side of the Arctic, while near average conditions ruled elsewhere. So again, this is your chart here, and we're still scraping at the bottom here with the minimum, and we still have to worry about, will this be the year we see the blue ocean event? Will that happen? A blue ocean event is when there will be no sea ice in the Arctic. Right now, we still have a decent amount of ice, but it's being eroded pretty quickly. And as I told you yesterday, we had a major iceberg break off in Antarctica. So we're going to continue to watch this. This may be the year we see, once that blue ocean event happens. You think the climate's changing quick now? Just wait. It's going to change a lot more rapidly than that. When that happens, I dread the day. I pray it doesn't happen, but we're heading toward that at the rate things are going. And without really, we need a big, major change in what we're doing. And I mean a major change in what we're doing, and that means all these pickup trucks you see on the road, these huge pickups, they should be taken off the road immediately. They consume way too much fossil fuel, and we need a radical change in the way we are, and also public transportation. We need a lot of changes going on in our country if we want to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. It's going to be a very radical change, and of course, people, they don't want that. So especially certain demographic, they don't want that. But, they're going to be underwater if we keep doing this. So the South Shore will be underwater. It's only a matter of time as long as we keep doing this. So that's going to be it for this weather update. Take care. Thanks for watching.